Corporations, big ones, buying and holding cryptocurrency in their corporate treasuries as part of a larger financial strategy really is one of the megatrends that has emerged in this cycle. That's not to say it didn't exist in the last cycle, but it certainly wasn't this widespread. Even Galaxy Digital agrees here. And obviously, yes, Bitcoin dominates. That's to be expected. Ethereum, however, is in a very comfortable second position. It's the second most popular option among some of these corporate buyers. But lots of other companies are buying lots of other cryptocurrencies too, lots of projects in the altcoin sphere. So those, of course, besides BTC and ETH. And here's a snapshot that was taken at the end of July as part of this study by Galaxy Digital, which shows at least 10 crypto companies are holding, in fact, they're holding altcoins other than BTC and ETH. Today, we're focusing on 3 of those altcoins in particular, darlings, I guess, if you will, of the new corporate treasury space in terms of cryptocurrency. And we're going to explain why we think corporate interest in them is only going to grow over time. Welcome to the channel. My name is Maddie, and this is Altcoin Buzz. All the best of luck if you choose to invest, whether that's into these 3 altcoins or something else entirely. Whatever the case may be, I genuinely do wish you well. But I am not a financial or investment advisor, nor is this video official financial or investment advice. All right, first up here, and at number 1 on the list, we're looking at SOL and the SUI token. As a project, SOL really has been everywhere. But this is not so much about SOI's ecosystem. Usually we do talk about that, but not the case today, nor are we going to talk really about how it's up, as you can see here, over 260% in the last year. Instead, we're going to talk about the companies that are actively putting SOI in their treasury. And it just happened actually with a pretty huge announcement. SOI Holdings Group. On NASDAQ, their ticker is SUIG. They just did a special kind of investment. It's called a PIPE, P-I-P-E. And with that, their publicly traded entity, SUIG, is now available in U.S. markets. It had about $300 million worth of SUI in it when we first reported on this. The total deal is actually for a little bit more, for $450 million. So there's still more room to buy, even more SUI. SOI Holdings Group is buying both privately and now in the open market to add to their position. This is pretty impressive, actually, if you consider it's going from no companies using a token in Treasury to now $300 million worth and, like I said, growing. And it's not only SOI where this is happening. Other projects on this list are making a pretty big splash with corporate treasury investments too. SOI, of course, as a project, is making massive strides in DeFi, in gaming, data, and storage, of course. And all of this means that there are more traditional companies out there that are going to be attractive, that are going to be coming into SOI. And so a lot of those are going to be potential candidates when it comes to adding SOI to their corporate treasuries in the same way that SOI Holdings Group has. And I would argue that this is big news, but it hasn't really been priced in yet. As you can see, the market has not been especially excited about this. The price of SUI is down over this period of time, as we see here. Therefore, I think it's safe to say that if you're hearing this news, if you want to action this news, you're going to be early. Certainly, SOI Holdings Group was the first to put SUI in their treasury, but almost certainly they will not be the last. As you have seen these last few days and these last few weeks, we've been talking about slowly unveiling a new project that we're very proud of here at Altcoin Buzz. Check out the link in the description below. We're inviting all of our viewers to try it, to check it out. Once again, you can find the link and participate in the description below. Next up here, and at number 2, we're looking at Solana. Sol's largest treasury holder is Upexi. Upexi raised $300 million to buy SOL to hold in its treasury. It is one of the biggest Sol holders who isn't an insider or institutional whale. After Upexi, the second largest holder is DeFi Developer Corp, who is listed on the NASDAQ under the ticker DFDV. They own 1.9 million Sol, which puts them at about the $350 million mark in terms of their Sol in their treasury. DeFi Devs Core's stated goal is to be the MicroStrategy of Sol. So taking a page out of the book of Michael Saylor there. But as the story goes, Upexi didn't like being in second place. So just last week, actually, they got a $500 million equity line approved, and they're using it to buy more SOL for their treasury. So just like how Bitcoin has, like I mentioned, Michael Saylor, Ethereum now has Tom Lee, Solana has both Upexi and DeFi Dev Core. They are Sol's main treasury holder advocates and the largest holders of SOL tokens in this particular way under this particular strategy. If you look at the price of SOL, SOL, it arguably absorbed all of these recent purchases and even more. Nothing too crazy to write home about. It's up a few percentage points over the course of the last week since these announcements came out. So a little bit surprising there. But because Solana is building out the chain and ecosystem for retail users, again, it's safe to assume we're going to see more of this. We expect more strategic companies already using Solana or its ecosystem products to follow the lead of the two that I mentioned earlier. And chances are we're going to see many, many more corporates adding SOL to their treasuries. At number 3, last but not least for today, we're looking at Hyperliquid and the HYPE token. That's HYPE. Hyperliquid has already a few things that we like, including great perp offerings in a DEX and also a great community incentivized burn program for that HYPE token. It's just a couple of the reasons there why its community is so loyal.
But now let's talk about HYPE, the exchange and native layer 1 token behind Hyperliquid, the most successful decentralized perpetuals exchange in crypto right now. For some perspective, this means HYPE has now gone from crypto native favorite to blue chip treasury asset, bridging the world of DeFi institutional finance and retail speculation, which is fantastic. So if you're wondering why public companies and funds are racing into HYPE, BNB and Cryo or CRO and exchange tokens, it's because these assets offer something unique. Direct exposure to the growth of the entire crypto ecosystem, plus the chance to earn rewards and sometimes participate in platform governance.
Inovia, ticker EYEN on the NASDAQ, is a public company now running a Hyperliquid validator and implementing a treasury strategy alongside that as well. And not to be outdone, I suppose, by Solana or SWI, Lion Group, who also trades on NASDAQ, ticker LGHL, has a $600 million line to buy Hyperliquid tokens. That's a lot of money. Interestingly, the investment group also holds SWI and Solana tokens, so they actually have all three on today's list. But HYPE, HYPE, is their largest holding at almost 130,000 HYPE, which is about $5 million so far. Now, obviously, with a line this large, Line intends to do a lot more buying. This is not like I'm reporting on the full extent or exhaustively everything they've already purchased and everything they will purchase. There's a lot more to come. Plus, a new public company called Hyperliquid Strategies has 12.6 million HYPE in their treasury for what will equal about $580 million. Really, all three of these are strategic holders. One runs a validator and two are in a related investment services field. That's good because it makes a lot more sense than a car dealership, for example, that just holds HYPE tokens on the side. And thanks to the community strength, not just here, but really in terms of all three of today's tokens that we looked at, again, I'll say it, I think now for at least a third time, we expect more strategic buyers, corporate buyers, to find their way into the market. This whole crypto corporate treasury strategy is very likely to continue through this cycle, possibly into the next one. This is not something that's going to die out. It makes a lot of sense for a lot of different reasons, but expect to see more and more of this.